How you doing?
We're doing.
Yeah. Another week, another weekend.
Another week, another advancement. We got new microphones.
Yeah, you know it's funny. We first we started with, I think it was just the camera, had no lights. Then we got the lights. Then we had the microphone, but the microphone was terrible for what we had it for. Now we got the microphone, so you can actually hear what the hell we're saying.
So says Amazon. So we'll see after this one if it works as it's supposed to.
Yeah, you got the 4,000 or 5,000 reviews where they say it was great. Although the video that I saw in the review, hey, listen, it's better than what we had because you couldn't hear us before.
Right.
And it was like a super echo. Even though we still got a little.
Yeah.
This is gonna be way better. At least it should be. So, and it didn't cost us, $4,000. So.
No, another $19.99 Amazon deal. So that was good, dude. Let's get right into it because there were some topics that I know we spoke a little bit before. We asked some people what they wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't want it just to be a sports thing. We've talked about that before. We want to talk about all things.
Yes.
But
the NFL did start this week.
We got to tackle Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
We got to get that out of the way because it's the most relevant sports thing going on.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on this guy, bro?
Are we talking about? Okay. I'm gonna tell you now. Let me ask you this: do you think this shit was planned? Listen, him going to the Patriots?
Yes.
Do you think when he gets to the Raiders, doesn't want to be there, does all this craziness, which I've never seen a player act like that, and then, because remember, which a lot of people didn't know, the Patriots, personally, when it was first coming out that Antonio wanted to leave, Belichick offered a first round
Right.
for him and didn't get it.
He was down, but Pittsburgh said, nah, player.
Yeah, of course, because AFC, they don't want them. Are you
Right.
kidding me? So you have that, and then you've got a third and a fifth rounder offered, and then you got him doing all this stuff, and next thing you know, it's like, hey, and not to mention the contract they gave him. Apparently, it's like $10 million guaranteed.
But
so,
there's an option for next year.
Of course there is, because if he acts a fool, they can get rid of him. But I'm wondering, because knowing the Patriots, and they are sly as hell, was this planned? Like, was this the whole plan all along?
Right.
I don't know. It's hard for me to say, but literally coming to blows, or almost, with your GM, kicking the ball in practice, calling them names, and pretty much having to be separated.
And what job does that work out for you?
Exactly.
Where you can go and yell at your boss.
Right. And
apparently he called him a cracker, dude.
He did. He absolutely did.
How dare
Which,
you.
by the way, if you listen to Twitter, that is not a derogatory thing. Not for white people. I'm not getting into it, but that's apparently not a derogatory thing.
We have unwritten rules what we're not going to get into, so I guess we'll leave it there. But
exactly. But I know exactly.
Name calling in general.
Exactly.
At your boss.
Exactly.
Not a good idea.
Right.
Okay.
And then, kicking the ball for whatever and all that other stuff. And the worst part is that he continues with the videos on Twitter, recorded the conversation with Gruden, and then apparently Gruden says it's okay.
But that's why they find him, right?
Yeah. At that point, I think they were like, we're done.
Yeah.
I mean, we're done. But again, I don't know if that's the whole thing, because if he goes now to the Patriots and now he's just Mr. Goody Two Shoes the entire time, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Well,
how do you prove that?
If anybody can deal with knuckleheads, it's the Patriots. We've seen it time and time again.
That's what I'm saying. This would be the ultimate test between Belichick and Brady to handle somebody like this. I've never seen him even act like. I mean, this is beyond the Randy Moss's TOs, and this is beyond anything I've ever seen. So I don't. It's so egregious that I don't know if it was staged. It almost looks like this can't be real.
Did you hear where they were saying he's like the real life Ricky Jarrett from Ballers on HBO?
He might be.
You don't watch the show?
No, I've seen it, but I don't know like the actual character.
He's hilarious and all that, but he does such things that you're like, where's this guy's head at, man? Right. And that's what they were saying. He was like the real life Ricky Jarrett. It's just.
So listen. After we get past the freezing of the feet and the helmet, and you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I'm glad to be done with it because it's just headlining the news. I mean, he's acted a fool and he looks like a clown, to be honest with you. But
he got what he wanted.
He did.
And he's gonna get a ring.
And here's the thing too. Here's the, I would say, hypocritical nature of the sports world. If he had gone to any other team besides the Patriots, they're crazy. How are you gonna take that kind of player? The Patriots go, oh, brilliant move. You see what I'm saying?
But like I said, one of those few organizations. I was telling a buddy the other day about relaying it kind of to the Heat, where the Heat can take a player who's had a bad history, Lamar Odom back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who got in trouble with the Clippers and whatnot. He comes over. it's just one of those organizations that they're not going to deal with that nonsense, and they'll straight these guys out. You know, and to what you're saying, the Patriots were going to be the spot because they can handle Antonio Brown.
Absolutely. And I will say this, after yesterday's game, and I did watch most of it, they proved they don't need him to win.
Right.
I mean, they were dominant yesterday, even without him. So he doesn't have to be there in order to that. You know, obviously Josh Gordon comes back, still trying to get his life together. Hope for God for like the 10th time. Hopefully he can do it.
Right.
But yeah, with Brown, you know, I don't think he's going to be number one there. I mean, that could change later, but Belichick, they don't really run like that.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll have to see. But done with that. Whatever. We'll see how it goes.
Let's
after.
say thank God that, you know, my boy doesn't watch football because you're trying to teach kids how to not act like that.
Yeah.
But again, he's getting everything he wanted by being a spoiled little brat.
I absolutely agree. It does lay a real bad precedence for the players or the young kids that are watching these players, that look up to them, these are my heroes, you know how they do it. You know, you'd hope that they wouldn't follow that, because this is how that stuff comes up.
And it's happening more and more with athletes, and like we spoke about last week, it seems like it's a lot of football players specifically.
I know.
I mean, I don't hear the baseball player who, you know what, I don't like the batting helmet anymore. It's just be a problem. I'm not gonna go to spring training. You know, it's just,
Yeah. No, I know.
the whole thing's just unfortunate.
Yeah, I agree. But whatever, I guess we'll see how it works out. I mean, obviously he wasn't going to play in game one, but I mean, I guess we'll see how he's incorporated going forward. Obviously, he's talented. He's one of the best receivers in the game still.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of if he can actually be a team player, especially on that team. That's pretty much how you have to be in the Patriots locker room.
And he's already getting nothing but love, because Tom Brady came out and said if he wants to move in with him, while he gets settled, come on down.
Of course.
Come on down to
He's thinking of
Casa de Brady.
He's thinking of that 7th ring,
Jesus.
which would be
Which
impressive.
he's gonna get it, dude. He's gonna get it.
They got to be favored.
Yeah.
They got to be favored now, even over the Chiefs and some of these other teams.
Yeah.
You know that it's just ridiculous. So whatever.
Enough of that guy, man.
I know.
So we're talking real quick before we started. We've reached out some people. We're inexperienced in this, and so we're trying to hear what our 5 followers, you know, want to hear
Do
about.
we have 5 followers?
We're gonna have to today.
I was like, I don't even think we have 1. Is anyone even watching?
Listen, positive vibes.
Besides us when we're checking out what we're doing?
But so I reached out to an old buddy of mine whom I trust wholeheartedly, and he said, man, talk about your job. And I said, we kind of agreed we weren't going to go there because
It's too political.
it's a lot of politics involved these days, a lot of incidents going on, and I don't want
It is a
to,
hot button.
I'm not on social media. I don't want nothing to do with that. I don't want to look at comments that are going to upset me. I don't want to respond to comments that are going to upset me.
Right. Which you know we're going to get on this anyway, which maybe we'll turn them off at some point.
These what do they call them, the trollers?
Trollers,
Yeah, you
Trolls.
know.
Of course.
So he's like, man, you know, can you talk about a little bit about the job without like, you know, and I said, listen, we can always edit it afterwards or whatever, you know, but let's just put it out there, man. We are police officers, okay? There, the big secret to 3 people watching. We are police officers,
Yeah.
okay? Want to talk about what you do in your unit just a little bit, you know? Or you rather not?
I'm so hesitant with this. I mean, because you know what it is, and I'm going to tell you why. And, I mean, not that you don't know, obviously, we're in the same profession. It starts out talking about stuff, but then it ends up getting heated, but not anyone here to get heated with, but it ends up in a rant or something where we're getting, you know, because just the stuff that's going on in the country,
Or we can just not respond to stuff going on in the country, but like maybe like you have tips in your unit that you want to give the public on crime safety, and I have things. I mean, not necessarily right now, but that it may come up. I think we can control ourselves into
I'll
that.
think about it.
You know,
I'll think about it. I'm just not.
toughest job in America. We agree on that.
Yeah.
Most
No-
hated job
no
in
question.
America. I always tell people
Well, you know what? I don't think it's the most hated job. I think we're the most hated people.
the most hated profession. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
Yeah.
of course, anytime you're enforcing rules on people, which is what we're
Every
doing.
time I talk about having patience or having, you know, which again, it's not always the easiest thing, but restraining yourself, right? you know, I deal a lot with a lot of juveniles, and
Oh, I'm gonna go beat this dude.
why? They said this. No, wait a minute. They said something? I'm not for anybody putting their hands on somebody, and you know. But words, we letting words catch us in a heap of trouble and catch cases and all this nonsense.
And that's what's going on.
So I said, you have to ignore words, okay? And so I mentioned the most hated profession because I say that a lot. I tell them, you realize I'm part of the most hated profession in this country? And so if I go on a call in one house, down the block, or 2 houses down, or the next door neighbor, there may be a group of guys outside, and it happens all the time. And don't we get called names?
Oh my God, racial
And what do?
racial stuff, all kinds of
I
stuff.
can't go over there and beat the
No.
crap out of everybody,
No, of
or
course
tase
not.
everybody,
Of course not.
you know. And so you gotta have your strength. But yeah, no, we don't have to go into all that. We can, you know. I don't want to get into, obviously, you know, like I said, things that happen in the news and stuff like that. But we can, as we go along, work on how far we're willing to go with our,
Maybe we can throw a nugget once in a while.
you know,
in passing.
to our 3 listeners.
Exactly.
Um,
I just can't help it, man. I'm very. It's just.
Open up a whole can of worms.
Yeah. I just you can't avoid it. You know, it's just the way it is. The anti-police rhetoric that's going on. It's just you can't help it. I don't want to hear it. So after a while, you just you block out the noise.
And we both have set up, you know, off record, we're both very defensive, where you could be blood if
Yeah.
you
And
could be
unfortunately,
blood family.
I will
if-
say, unfortunately, exactly what you said. Unfortunately, that has happened with me.
Yeah.
I've had to cut family members, off Facebook and stuff like that because of the bullshit that I hear. So I don't really care who it is. It's
Yeah.
just, it is what it is. And the way I look at it is this: my life, this is yours as well, is on the line every single day. When we put on the uniform, when we're in that car, we have a target. With the way everything's going, we're targeted.
Right.
So I'm not gonna have you when I might not come home today. Run your mouth,
Yeah.
especially somebody who's supposed to be blood with me, knowing me, obviously. So
when you
I
haven't
think-
spent
yeah, I'm
a day, an hour, a minute
right,
in our shoes.
right. I won't tolerate it.
Which is, I've told you many times, the way that I was raised. Not to speak on something you don't know about.
So
Okay? So,
and that's why we've talked about this. I said I just don't want to touch it,
yeah.
And it's fine to put it out there. I don't care about that, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with that. But tell me, you said that, speaking briefly before this, you had and again, we can get into this as far as parenting goes, you've had a rough week?
I had a rough dad week, man.
Really?
We gotta put it out there. We gotta be honest and transparent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're raising your beautiful little boy, I'm raising 3, and there's days that are harder than others. And I mean, what would you say? Just to start. Best and worst thing about being a parent?
Oh God. Well, okay. First thing's the easy. Best thing about being a parent, it's an indescribable love, I guess, that you don't really know until you become a parent.
Right.
And you realize this shortly after he or her is born.
Like instantly.
Yeah, it's
Instantly.
and it
you
changes your
love
outlook.
that.
And it changes your outlook
Baby more
on
than you love
everything.
anything,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it changes your outlook on everything. I mean,
Yeah.
it just your whole outlook on everything that you've ever done. It flips the script on a lot of that stuff. So
Right.
that is that type of stuff. And then of course when you receive the love back, especially as they start to get older and stuff, the way they interact with you, I can't describe that. But and only another parent would know that. The worst, man, there's a lot to worry about. A lot more than you ever think about.
Yeah.
Because you never want anything to happen to them. You almost want to cocoon them so nothing can happen. Obviously, you can't do that.
You say, we say we don't want to put them in this bubble, but you kind of do.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because especially us, we see the worst of the worst out of people,
Right.
and in this world. So I know what's out there, just like you. We know what's out there. So it scares the hell out of me
Yeah.
when I see that. So I think that's the biggest thing. And right now, I'm in a different phase than you. He's only 6, so I'm in a much earlier phase that you have already been through.
Right.
You're, much further along. I know you have 3, so you're at all different stages. You're talking like graduated high school, middle school. Like it's a completely different thing.
I always tell people because it's just a different set of issues as they get older. You know, like I look back at pictures now, dude. I've told you this, and I look back at, you know, where they were all three relatively small.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy crap, dude. Like, young and just ambitious. What a young and ambitious young man I was. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot, like, you know what I'm saying? And there's different issues when they're little, when they're older, you got the teenage stuff, and they're all, no, you know, there's no two kids are the same.
Yeah, and you know what? You get different. It's funny. You get different sets of problems at different stages.
Of course.
So you know, in the beginning, it's just either the tantrums and things, and then it gets into the talking back, and then they don't listen.
And that's I was gonna say my toughest thing, easily, is when I have to be hard on them, when I have to discipline them, when I gotta take away things that I know they like,
and they don't realize how hard it is.
when I gotta punish them.
Yeah.
You know, it
kills you.
It kills me, but the deal that I made from day one was, as long as I feel I am doing the absolute best for them, so that they grow up to be successful, independent, self-sufficient adults, okay? And define success as you may. I mean,
everybody's got their
whatever they want to do. They want to be a teacher, they want to be a lawyer, they want to be, you know, I want them to be happy. But as long as I feel I've done the absolute best to make them better adults, they can be upset with me, and that's fine. I will sleep like a baby. Because the fact is, they'll be upset with me sometimes, I'll be upset with them sometimes, and that'll be that. But that's the hardest part for me. I hate having to be tough, and I have to be tough when I gotta be tough.
I know. So, what was the deal this week?
Teenage stuff from a pre-teener.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Like, you know, not listening, not being, you know, obedient, I guess. I mean, it's different than, like, I'm sure your parents give you advice, my parents give me advice, and it's tougher because it's different generations, man. And so you kind of create your own style.
Of course.
So I got a little bit of my dad, a little bit of my mom, and then some stuff that they would never do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I remember growing up, just one quick example, where I was a big Tupac fan, and, you know, early 90s hip hop, you know, you lived through it, you know what I'm saying?
And real music.
Right, but I remember having to hide
of course.
my tapes.
Too loud.
Like, if it's at parental advisory, like, my old man wasn't having it, right? Things like that, where with me in my house, I don't shelter them from any of that. They know it's music, just like movies, just like video games. I mean, Grand Theft Auto is a big no-no for obvious reasons.
Yeah, right now it's a no guns thing with Aiden regarding games.
Right.
I don't care if it's lasers,
Yeah.
Fortnite, any of that stuff, which he loves to play. He's seen his aunt, who's only 11 years old, play it. But right now he's at that. He's too early for that stuff, including explicit lyrics and the songs. And I just right now I have to shelter him from that.
Yeah.
Because he's too young.
Well, he's young.
Yeah.
He's still too young. But my deal with all three of them has been, if you can handle it, you can listen to it. I mean, obviously, I'm not letting him watch certain movies, you know what I'm saying? Like,
How's he with the horror movies?
he loves the horror movies.
Does it scare the hell out of him? Does he have?
He loves it. He wants to go see it too. Now I don't like that stuff. They actually, I've got an off-duty thing Friday night,
Okay.
and they were like, "Oh, we'll go then to see," because I know that you don't have any interest in it. It's not my
Okay.
kind of
But what
movie.
about no nightmares, that type of thing?
No, never.
See, that's the thing. It's funny. Aiden at 6 loves that stuff, but the
Yeah.
thing is, we have to regulate him some because he ends up giving himself. He's too young. He gives himself nightmares.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not gonna let him watch it. I'm not gonna let him watch like. He loves.
They've
It's
been
funny.
trying to see it, bro.
Like,
I don't
like
get
Friday the
attraction.
13th, like Freddy, like all these things from Nightmare on Elm Street. These old school ones. And I'm like, no, it's too cool. Like, I can't let him see that stuff.
Yeah.
He likes them. He likes their pictures because he likes monsters and all that stuff. But he doesn't know anything about the movies. He doesn't know anything about it. So I've kept him from that. So I get it.
Yeah. But as long as they act right, man, I don't shelter them from things. It's finding a nice balance. I don't shelter them from adult issues, but they know to listen. If I'm letting you hear this conversation about something I'm discussing with your mom, it's not for you to give your opinion. I don't care for it. You're young. But I'm very transparent with my mistakes as an adult.
Yeah.
I want them to learn from every adult they can.
Yeah.
Dad's not perfect. Uncle ain't perfect. auntie ain't perfect, grandma ain't perfect, so learn anything from you can, try to better yourself. But it's just when you know, they don't listen. You know the way that I am, and if something is expected, it's as clear cut as you can be. I don't leave anything left for the imagination.
Yeah.
If I want certain chores to be done, they're gonna know about it. I'm gonna text them all. It's gonna be in writing, and
Oh, I know, and everyone in the household knows.
and so if somebody slips up and doesn't do it just because they didn't want to,
Yeah,
I gotta address that.
Yeah, that's not good enough. I get
you
it.
know,
Yeah.
because again, in my house growing up, you were told to do something, it got done. Okay, you weren't told twice. So.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the unfortunate, I guess, part of parenting, but it's necessary. It's a necessary evil,
Okay.
you know. And the best part, obviously, is anytime that they work hard for something and see success,
Yeah.
you share that with them.
Well,
It could be sports, it could be school, it could be
well, as much stuff as you're involved in, obviously they're gonna see that stuff, which I want Abe to see the same. Because we never stop. You know how it is. At least right now. So. Yeah.
I think about that a lot. You know, where and like my wife will tell me, you don't gotta say so much. They see it. You know, Aiden sees you, you know, coming from work, going to the gym, being there for him for everything, working the side business,
Right.
doing, and so subconsciously, you know what I'm saying? He's growing up seeing that work ethic. You know, I remember seeing my parents and with the working out stuff, seeing my dad as a kid, and when I'm little, it's like goes over your head, but you recognize it. So
Well.
hopefully they're paying attention.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
tell you, I had, and I don't know if you ever had this. I had an odd one this week, with him, where this is a first for a parent. His middle name was named after a best friend of mine through high school,
Mm-hmm.
who was killed right when we graduated high school in a car crash.
Mhm.
So you're talking 25 years ago. And we told him, you know, a couple of years back when we were teaching him what his name was and all that stuff, you know, I'm saying to him, you know, your middle name is from a friend of Daddy's who passed away, this and that, and inexplicably, he did this for the last couple of months. He would wake up in the morning and he would say he would be looking for my friend. I'm going downstairs to find him.
Wow.
Like, Abe, he's passed. He's like, well, can we go see him at the cemetery? Now, how do you tell at the time 5 or 6? What do you say to them? Do I take him to the cemetery? And it's like, you know, my wife's like, I think he's too young. And I'm like, but he doesn't really understand, so I don't think it matters. You know, they don't fully grasp what we're doing if you go there.
Right.
So actually, this past week on Sunday, we were running around doing errands, and we're passing the cemetery where my friend was. And he asked again. I said, you know what? When we're done, I'm going to drive you back there.
Nice.
And sure enough, we did. It was a little strange because we're literally parked walking, because I couldn't remember where it was, inside where he was, because he was in one of the walls. And we're walking around and we're looking, and he's calling out his name. Sean, the whole time. So it was an odd thing. We did find it, and I showed him whatever, but you know, it makes you wonder, where is this guy? I mean, this guy passed 25 years ago. I mean, this is long before I met my wife, long before he even
Right.
existed. Why he would be so connected like this? It's just odd, and out of nowhere. It's really
Well,
weird.
because you know, but credit to he's this very smart kid and he wanted to find out where his name came from. His name.
Yeah, I you know, so I was like, and you start thinking as a parent, you're like, should I be doing this? Should I be taking him to this? You know?
No problem with that at all. Man.
Yeah.
You
So we
know,
did. I
they
mean, we
gotta-
did whatever it is now. We did, but I don't know.
They gotta understand. At some point, they gotta understand death and you know what that means. We don't get too religious here,
Yeah, we don't need.
but they you know, but they know things and it's tough because there's no rule book, man. You gotta like certain
and that's
things.
why I said
you
it was
know,
something new. I'd never really experienced.
there's things now that we'll sit down and tell all three of them. You know, certain things that I would never 5 years ago.
Right.
Even though the oldest 5 years ago was older than the youngest now, but we're you know, and as long as you gotta get a feel for how they grasp things, they've never been told anything and then just ran and told other people, or you know what I'm saying, like life experiences, man, and but absolutely they know of people that we've lost and how we deal with that and how we keep them in our heart and you know things like that. So
Yeah. Well, like I said, it wasn't a rough thing, just different. I guess.
It's a learning experience.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's something that, you know. So I figured hopefully that'll put that to rest and we're done with that. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And honestly, quite honestly, it was kind of nice to go because I hadn't visited in, God, over 20 years.
Mm.
So it'd been that long. So that's why I couldn't find them because the place has changed a lot.
Yeah.
So I couldn't remember where the heck it was. So that was kind of, it was just odd.
And yeah, I mean, to each their own, because I'm a big believer, like, you know, I go once a year and I do it more for like a respect kind of thing.
And that was the whole thing. And I did it for the first few years. And
I
I was
don't-
19 years old at the time.
Yeah,
So it was a long time ago.
you know. So, but no, definitely a learning experience
Yeah.
for him. So,
Yeah, man.
you know, you seen any good movies lately? Any
Well, you're also talking.
shows?
You're talking to.
Are you pumped about the fall season now starting for all these shows?
Yeah. But which shows are we talking about?
The good ones.
Quite honestly, the last show that I had gotten into, me and my wife, we binge watched it because I hadn't done it. Was the Stranger Things.
You know, I haven't seen.
And that's the
any of
thing,
that,
I
but
have heard so
Jacob
much.
And Christy watched that,
And that's the thing. We heard so much about it, and I said, well, we got Netflix. Screw it, let's try it. And one night we were bored. We're like, let's watch the first pilot, the episode. And then,
It was
okay,
good?
it was decent. And we started watching the second. And okay, so then we cleared the first season in like a day and a half. So then so within a week, we cleared like 3 seasons. It was ridiculous.
Nice.
So I'm kind of looking forward to, I think, which is the season 4, which I think is going to be the final season. But that was pretty good. But I never got into like Game of Thrones. I know everybody was into that. I never
I've
watched
never
it.
watched Game of Thrones, man.
I never watched
We're
it.
gonna lose 2 of the 3 listeners we have now.
There you go. Yeah. So I did that, but I didn't. I'm trying to think. Like, the thing is, we used to have a lot of shows, man, with the Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, like this.
I'm about to say, I don't know why I like those as much as I do,
I know.
but I do.
And I know. And my wife
Those
is
are
watching
coming
them.
up
Yeah.
soon. I don't do the Chicago Med. I don't want to see medical things.
I
I'm
know.
good. Switch the channel.
I do like the PD.
I do like the PD.
I'm getting bored of the Fire.
I do like the Fire.
I do, but I'm waiting for them to say this is the final season. Seriously, it just is. As
Too
far as
many love triangles. They're like they're like love octagons.
it's just ridiculous. I don't know. And it's hard to watch these things sometimes because obviously we do this for a living. So a lot of times I watch it, I'm like, okay,
Of course.
that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. That's not right.
But you separate
can't-
like
yeah, you
it's
have
just
to.
entertainment.
You have to.
One of my favorites, Blue Bloods.
Yeah, same thing. That's
Blue
another
Bloods, and I'll tell you what I like real quick about Blue Bloods. Okay, they're going on season 10. Okay, what got me to keep watching Blue Bloods is it's a show where there's no cops breaking the law. There's no corruption.
Yeah, I know.
You know, sometimes a little too kind of squeaky clean family. Like you gotta make mistakes sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they show that too. But there's no, I'm tired of seeing. Just to be honest, I'm tired of seeing cops portrayed like assholes. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
And so you got like, Mark Wahlberg's character who sometimes flies off the rail a bit, but he's not a womanizing alcoholic. In other words.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I know. Every cliche that you've ever seen.
Yeah.
For every show,
he's
movie.
not taking money from the local gangbangers. You know what I'm saying? So
Which is Chicago PD.
yeah, right. Exactly.
That's
So,
like I said, I like the show. It is very stereotypical, though. And it is.
yeah, and then I never thought that I would like it, and season 10 now they've gone through a whole bunch of cast changes, but Hawaii 5-0, I like it.
You
That's
know-
more where it's just like
I will tell you what, we watched that, but I'm like, what are we on, season 400? Like, Jesus.
season 10.
Yeah, like, what
Yeah,
is
'cause they
this?
started when Blue Blood started.
Dude, it's insane. I'm like, okay,
But
this-
that's more like, okay, like this is so fake. It's
yeah.
not even
I mean,
funny.
he's like 5 apparently they're the only 5 cops in the entire island, and they're handling everything.
They handle everything.
All the time.
They handle everything. Their special
They're-
unit
and
gets
they're-
called for everything.
And not only do they get called, they're getting, they're literally getting drop shipped out of helicopters in the jungle.
Right,
They're
right,
handling terrorists. Like,
and
only
if
they
you're
can do
boys
it.
with the head of the unit, like you don't have to have any law enforcement experience
Oh, yeah,
whatsoever.
you can just
we just
jump the
we
unit.
toss some
You go
badges
to the
and you're
academy
in.
and
yeah.
you're in.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. That's
One
that
of, the
kind of
new,
stuff. It's like,
one of the newer
and-
characters, she got kicked out of the academy. She's a lifeguard.
Yeah.
He goes to see her, hires her. Offers her a job on the spot.
Here's your badge. And then I love the tech where they can take everything, just throw it up on the screen.
Yeah.
This is how we found this guy. Look,
Oh,
we're tracking him
yes,
live right now.
yes,
And it's like,
yes.
geez, I wish we had that
I
kind of
was
stuff.
like, can we please get that? Here's this guy's information. Whoop! And then you see the whole life story.
I think my friends, listen,
Nice.
we gotta talk. If we're gonna do that, we gotta talk about CSI Miami. Dude, I would only watch it.
Let's run Joey's bank account information. Whoop! Oh, in 1998, he made a deposit of $500
Yeah,
to,
oh, that's it. Yeah,
you know.
yeah. It just.
Capital One in Hialeah. All right, nice.
I remember every time, man. This guy with the sunglasses and the CSI. They're always driving over the same bridge, all driving H2 Hummers, and apparently everybody's dressed pristine. And remember, when they're going on a warrant hit, the detectives are going in first. There's no SWAT, there's no anybody. It's just them.
Okay, yes.
Let's
so
go.
That's one of the that's one of the ones that I always bring up with Blue Bloods because, again, Mark Wahlberg, Donnie Wahlberg's character.
Yep.
Danny, great name. But so every time there's gonna be like a raid, you got all the SWAT guys all tagged out, tag helmets and all that stuff, and Danny's in the front, got no helmet, and of course, I'm like, of course, the star of the show, you can't hide his face.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just funny.
After like season
You're
3, it's
come
like
on,
that's it. I know already. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
remember too, they have an hour to solve this. So not only are they gonna get the print, the digital print scan, and it's gonna give them the address, and then when they go knock on the doors, they're gonna be
it's
there.
like first 53 minutes. We're gonna yeah.
They're gonna get the scan. The scan's gonna right there give them the address, and then when they go there, the person's gonna answer the door. Like it's awesome.
Right. Never an old address. Never, but it's entertaining.
I know. That's what I said. And then and like I said, they keep driving back and forth over the same Causeway Bridge, by the beach, which is always the same thing, and it's just And then of course, when the suspect is always running from everybody and they can't catch him, and then this dude just steps out every time, right in front of them, never has to run. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's entertaining, but it's hilarious. But the funny thing about our job is that people think it's really like that.
Yes.
And they're like, "Aren't you gonna run prints?" Like, yeah, I'm done with prints now. Oh, but they'll call you the next day. Did you find anything? And I'm like, it doesn't really work like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Where's the big screen that you just go?
It's entertaining.
Does everything.
I'm trying to think movies. The latest movie. What the heck was the last movie that I saw?
Are you pumped about Joker?
Yeah. I didn't think I would be.
I didn't think I would be either. Because how dare you try to go after Heath Ledger, right?
I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying?
But let me tell you, I mean, it looks.
Everything I'm hearing, bro.
Yeah. It looks awesome. So I'm definitely
a different take to it. Number one thing they told you is
you can't go in thinking, hey, this is gonna be Heath Ledger and that type. It's a different.
Well, but they're saying it's not even like a comic book movie.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Dark Knight really wasn't either.
No.
Dark Knight is a good film.
Which
that happens to be
Christopher Nolan specifically. The reason why those were so good, at least to me, everything that they did.
They weren't comic book movies. They were good
they were
films that had to do with comic book characters.
Yeah, and they were supposed to be as real life as possible. So
right.
There was very little to any CGI, and like the fights had to be real. The car crate chases and crashes had to be real.
They
so
said the morning show host that I listened to, they were like, "Sorry, dudes, Dark Knight is better than any Marvel movie ever."
Well, I love the Dark Knight. But I'm not gonna go there with the Avengers. The Avengers series, Endgame. I don't know, man.
Better than Dark Knight?
Those were pretty epic. They really were.
We agree to disagree for once.
Yeah.
Dark Knight was.
No, I love the Dark Knight. Christian Bale, I could do without the.
Like his voice got darker as they went.
Yeah.
I don't know why that happened.
I know.
But everything I'm hearing about this Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker is a different take on it.
Yeah.
They're giving us a backstory.
Yeah.
Because Heath Ledger, remember, he had different stories.
He would tell you, of course.
So
I'll reserve judgment until I see it. Right now, obviously, Heath Ledger's still my favorite. It's not even close.
Yeah.
I mean, with Suicide Squad and stuff, I don't think Joker got enough time.
Stop.
He didn't get any face time.
Please stop. Because he was god awful.
Yeah.
God awful. Jared Leto, talented dude.
Yeah.
Just keep it moving, bro. Sorry.
The visual
The
though,
Joker
looked
wasn't
good.
for
The
you.
way they made him look, he looked awesome. At least I thought.
The gold teeth.
It was different.
All tatted up.
It was different. It was different.
I don't know.
But it was not. Again, it was not Heath Ledger. His was just insane.
Yeah.
Insanely good.
Have you seen the documentary on Heath Ledger?
No.
I Am Heath Ledger.
No.
And they talk about how he came up with the idea and all that stuff. And you haven't seen it? Oh man.
But I do know you're a documentary buff, like big time.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I haven't seen
One
it.
of my favorite movies is Heath Ledger, The Four Feathers. You seen The Four Feathers?
No.
What?
No.
Dude.
No.
So I'm gonna mess this up.
When
next
did it come
time.
out?
Like 2003, 2004 maybe. So he's part of like the British Army.
Yeah.
Way back in the day. I'm not even gonna give the time period because I'll mess that up. Is it Kate Hudson is in it as well? They're like engaged. He's the son of one of the captains or something like that. He's always been in the army. You know, him and his buddies. They're going to be sent off to war
Okay.
to the Sahara. Okay. And all of a sudden he just has a moment. He's like, I'm not going, and quits the army. So now he's known as a coward, and the feather was a sign of cowardice. And so his 4 boys send him a feather.
Oh.
They go off to war. He has a change of heart. He's got to do something. He goes off to the desert. It's kind of weird because when he goes, it's like, what are you gonna do now that you're here? But so he kind of like blends in with the Muslims or whatever.
Sure. The locals.
The locals, yeah, and not to give the whole damn movie away, but there's a critical point where that's what he was there for.
Okay.
But to see him like, you know, he kind of like darkens his skin a little bit. He grows out the hair.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I've seen the clips. Like
I
I've seen
swore when I was 21 and that came out, I thought he was gonna win the Oscar, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I remember A&E or the biography channel or whatever. They did a biography on him after he passed. They didn't even mention that movie, and I was so offended. It was such a good job.
You see that?
Because he speaks, then he learns the language.
Yeah. No, yeah, he assimilates himself
He
into
blends
into
in.
the whole.
Great movie.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's funny. Something you just brought up now, talking about, you know, you thought he was going to win an Oscar and all that stuff. It actually brings me to a question I might have for you, because obviously both of us do watch a lot of movies. We're into that stuff with the lines and all that stuff. And I know recently, and really it has to do with award shows, because I just saw, you know, the VMAs just passed recently. I do like the performances on some of them, because, you know, the artists I do like. Not all of them, but some of them. I found myself where the Oscars, you know, the VMAs mostly, like all these award shows now, I found myself completely avoid watching them anymore. Like I used to like watching them all.
I was gonna say I haven't seen the VMAs.
I stopped watching all of them. And there's one big reason for it. I'm tired of every time somebody wins an award, they feel the need to get up, and instead of thanking everybody, they need to talk about politics.
This is where I gotta cut you off. This is where no, I hear you.
But you see what I'm saying? So
I hear
it's
you.
caused me to not even want to watch it anymore. I don't care.
Like every acceptance speech has to be the best speech ever.
Well, yeah, and
It
that's
has
the
to
thing.
be on social media the next
Yeah, like
day.
it doesn't always have to be a
It has to be
protest.
this life-altering thing
Yeah, it's like,
where it's just like, just go there, thank your mom, your dad.
But that's
for
the thing,
being
like,
with you,
listen, I'm watching
thank
for
your agent. You know what I'm saying?
And I get it. They're like, oh, it's my platform, but you don't need to use it then. I don't want to hear about it. I don't care about your political views. I don't care about
You
any
get
of
an
those
award for
political views, really.
doing this.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah,
who helped with
and
this.
I know that's not. I know I'm not the only one, but
Yeah.
I know like
I totally agree.
it just drives me crazy.
I totally agree. I won't say who the actress is, but the last couple times that I saw her in one of those awards, and there was this big thing, and everyone stands up, and you got tears in your eyes, and this, and I enough for this lady. I barely see her on anything, and when I see her winning an award, I got it all the time. Like, enough, dude. I get it.
Yeah.
You're changing the world.
Yeah.
Get it. One.
I just
Bad movie at a time.
I loathe it. And it sucks because I used to like seeing these things, and I just can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
You know, VMA, same thing. For the most part, it wasn't, but I had to keep bouncing back and forth between that and I forgot what else was on. I think it was preseason football, of course. But yeah, same thing, because it's the same thing. Everything has to be a political movement. I mean, everything.
Yeah.
It's just, it gets tiring. So after a while, you just turn it off, and it's unfortunate because I really like seeing, you know, because a lot of live performances are really good.
Yeah.
Or I don't even know if they're live
Well,
anymore.
that's how you know when something's good.
Yeah.
Best concert you ever been to? Go.
Michael Jackson.
Really?
Yeah.
How dare you regret that? So I'm live?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I was like 12. I mean, you're talking. This is when
Did
like.
he ask you to go?
Yeah. This is when the Beat It album came out.
Did you see the documentary on him?
No, and we have talked about.
We
this.
have talked about it. You have yet to see it.
No, I have not.
I think you should see it once, but then just
Yeah.
you're gonna wish you didn't.
Yeah. But remember too, you're asking me what I think my best concert I've been to, and I've been to the Black Eyed Peas. I've been to a lot of really good concerts. Yeah. Listen, I went when the MC Hammer was big, Vanilla Ice, like a lot of stuff. But he was. But again, you're talking about what 85. He was outstanding. I mean, at the time,
Yeah.
you know, nothing going on. So yeah, if you asked me that question back then, he was probably. And I don't go to listen.
And where was it?
It was at the Orange Bowl.
Really?
the Orange Bowl.
Wow.
I'm almost positive. Yes, it was the
In
Orange
1
Bowl.
year?
85.
Jesus Christ, Joe, you're dating yourself a little bit, bro.
Yeah, long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You know, and I remember, I think my mom took me at the time. That's when like breakdancing got big.
But you remember what a great performance it was.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it was really good. I mean, obviously his album was really good back then.
Yeah.
You're talking, I mean, the Beat It album, jeez.
Yeah.
Billie Jean, are you kidding me? Like, dude, he was going through all that stuff. It was good.
Who have you not seen that you want to see?
I will say this, I'm not big on concerts. My wife likes to go to Mark Anthony, who's obviously very good.
She goes every year, right?
I don't understand a fucking word he says, but yes.
She goes every year?
Pretty much.
I don't like the big crowds.
Well, that's the thing, and you know, it's it depends on the crowd. Like, I'm trying to think, who would I like to? I'd like to see Maroon 5. They're pretty good. Maroon 5 is really good. Like, I'm not into the whole, like some of these like you're talking like Sting and like these old like legends. Is not maybe Aerosmith. Love Aerosmith.
I was gonna say, you know what I'd like to see? It's an old legend, and you probably wouldn't guess.
Who?
I'd like to see Chicago.
Man, they were.
I would like to see Chicago. I know they've gone through a lot of members in and out, you know, whatever. But I'd like to. But I'm like you, man. I don't. As however you want to, you know, make it seem. But John Mayer.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. The guy's got talent. Okay.
Of course he
Years
does.
ago, I gave my parents tickets to go see him at UN.
Yeah.
My dad says it's the best concert. That at some point he would do his thing with one electric guitar, toss it, get another one. Go ham
Some
on
people,
it,
yeah.
toss it, get another one. He said
Some
it was
people
the
are really-
best
yeah, some
live
people are
electric
talented.
guitar he's ever seen.
Yeah, man.
You know.
You know, let me tell you something. MC Hammer's concert was really entertaining. I mean, I don't know if you remember, he used
He was
to
a
bring.
performer. Yeah.
Yeah, so his thing was really.
And he had the whole like dance crew, and you know what I'm saying, like.
Right. His was really big. I remember we went to the Black Eyed Peas one. I guess their last tour. Theirs was awesome. I think T-Pain showed up. Jason Derulo showed up. T-Pain was really good. I mean, obviously Black Eyed Peas were really good. But I'm talking about the other ones that performed. It was funny because T-Pain actually went up there and he no auto-tune, no anything, just did his thing.
He actually had a good voice.
It's crazy. His voice is phenomenal. It's just
Why did he do all that?
because I think it helps him stand out, and it did. He made it big. Of course, everybody now that can't sing is copying it, but he can legit sing.
But that's when you know if the person's legit good.
Yeah, and he did it purposely.
Taylor Swift. I don't like Taylor Swift, but
Dude,
Christy went with me once.
She's outstanding.
Said it was phenomenal.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
She's a legit.
A legit singer.
Yeah, she's an elite star. Obviously,
We
I
went
get tired of
last,
politics, but same thing.
right. Last year we went to go see Logic.
Okay. Yeah,
Hip hop is a little bit different. It's hard.
it is.
It's hard to go see, you know, a rapper perform live. We went because it's one of the few rappers that like the kids like as well. So
Yeah.
we can, because you know we like a lot of old school stuff.
Of course, because they were actually saying something, which is why I do like Logic, because he's actually saying something, not just
Right.
hey, cars, money, and bitches, and it's the same fucking.
But let me
thing
tell you,
every
so
song.
he did a good job. But before him was NF. You familiar with NF?
Yeah.
Okay. Big NF fan. NF obviously wasn't the headliner, so he only did like 5 songs. I would tell you that NF performed way better than Logic. And Logic performed well.
Yeah.
But NF, man, he brought, so one of his videos, he has like a big cage kind of thing, and he's rapping while he's climbing out of the cage. So he did that live, which was amazing. And NF definitely has lyrics that mean something.
Well,
You know, he won't call himself a Christian rapper, but I like, you know, it's good with the kids because he doesn't curse. You know, so things
well,
like
listen,
that.
growing up, I loved, even with I hate, you know, F the Police, but I loved NWA and those guys, you know, even Dre and Ice Cube and everyone that came out after that, you know, KRS-One.
Find a good song, or not a good artist now that doesn't have a problem with the police. The way I look at it, and be honest with you, because sometimes I'll hear something and one of the kids may be like, "Oh, did you hear what he said?" And I said, "Yes," but I look at it like when they say something bad about the police, to me they're talking about the corrupt police or the racist police
Well,
or the, you know.
yeah. I think to me, it was always, and even with Eazy-E and all that, it's not that I had a problem with it. They're talking about their life experiences. At least that's what it seemed
But
like.
they're not
It
talking
seemed
about they're not talking about the honest stand-up police officers, which is what we are. So I don't take offense to that.
Right. No,
You know what
yeah,
I
it
mean?
doesn't. I don't care about that. I'm just saying, even growing up, those to me were real rap artists. You know, including like you know, Biggie, who was one of my favorites, probably all time.
Jesus
Tupac was awesome.
Big Tupac guy.
Yeah.
You know how long it took me to admit that I like Jay-Z as an artist. Forget about personal stuff.
Some of his stuff I love, and some of his stuff I'm like,
point
but
being,
I did like him
because
long
I'm
for
such
his
a
big.
Jay-Z, Biggie, Nas. I wouldn't admit to liking any of them just because I was such a big Tupac guy.
No kidding.
Until
They were
years
good,
later,
man.
I was like, you know, I think
They were good, man. I liked
the
all of
statute of limitations
Yeah.
is done. I think if Pac was around, like he would have squashed that himself. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, but all those guys, everyone you just named, those are all real good artists, man.
I was showing Frank the other day, my oldest, 17 years old, and I was showing him DMX.
Yeah.
He's heard of DMX, obviously.
Okay.
But I was taking him to his cross country practice, and I put on first album, first track. Okay? The intro. Boom, boom. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, picture being, I said I was your age. I was, well, he's a senior now, but I was in 11th grade, 16, 17 when that came out.
Yeah.
And that bass hitting hard. Boom, boom. Uh-oh. What have you done now?
And that's
And
what-
you're like, yo, what's gonna happen, bro? And then when that intro comes out, ooh! And Frank sits there laughing at me because I'm jamming like crazy.
Yeah,
person.
because it gets you hyped.
Oh my god, he was the first one. I was telling him, he was the first one. It was like '99. He comes out and he was the first one that I was like, oh, it's another Pac. It was like the first. Not that he was a Pac imitator, but
Right.
the first kind of like Pac. You know, in '01 then came 50 Cent.
Yeah.
He was the next Pac.
Yeah.
You know, Eminem still going on strong,
Yeah. I like him.
insulting everybody, but hey,
That's his thing, though. That's been his thing since he came out.
yeah.
That was the whole thing with that.
But
So, you know.
it is what it is, man. But like my old man always says, take the artist, take the athlete, take the actor for what they do. Don't get personal.
Right.
Don't
Well,
get
that's the
personal.
thing.
They're gonna disappoint you.
I know. Well, you know what? Now, especially with social media, actors, athletes, you know, artists, all of them, they want, you know, basically, what you didn't have before was them voicing their opinions on everything. So what happens is people attach their personal feelings to, well, if this person is in agreement with what I agree with, we're good. If this person doesn't, screw them, block them. You know what I'm saying? So it's the if we don't agree, we can't be friends. Like it's that type of thing.
But don't you think also it kind of lowers? So you were talking about Michael Jackson. You imagine Michael Jackson on social media?
No.
You imagine Elvis on social media? It would bring down their star power so much because I was a kid. We didn't live for Elvis, you know, during the time of
Yeah.
Elvis. But like Michael Jackson, and again, we're not gonna get into his accusations and all that. I can tell you he's no longer welcome to my my home speakers here
Yeah.
or in my car. But he was such a star.
Oh my God.
It was like the mystery of it too.
Agreed.
Like Michael Jackson wouldn't be on social media disagreeing with you. Like to me,
and yes, but
it takes away from
yeah.
the superstardom. You're
Yeah.
not a superstar if you're responding to Joe Schmo who says that, you know,
I know.
ban this or ban that
Well,
or
you know
whatever.
what's funny? It's funny that we talked
Now I'm
about
getting
this. Yeah.
hyped up.
I know. Listen, the funny thing is this, on Twitter, well, no, I should say this. On Etsy, for, you know, the side business that we do, we usually sell stuff through Etsy and stuff like that. There was another shop, a small shop that she sold t-shirts. She made like custom t-shirts, whatever. That's all she did. She was doing
Like
it.
my sister. Shout out to Custom Vibes.
There you go. Well, you know what? She was doing. At the time she was doing like a fundraiser
Right.
for. It was for like a suicide organization, prevention organization, because apparently her,
Jesus, good thing I threw in there prevention, bro. You're gonna make it sound like that
Her
for
husband-
a suicide organization. Oh shoot.
yeah, it's a prevention organization.
Yeah.
Her husband apparently took his own life several years before.
Jesus
So
Christ.
it was terrible.
Right, so I make a joke.
I know, sorry.
Good job.
So, apparently she was like, oh, I'm doing this fundraiser and this and that. And she says, I'm doing an Ask Me Anything. And I guess somebody had asked her favorite artist. And she says, John Mayer. And who responds to her? John Mayer. So John Mayer himself.
Really?
Yeah, and this is, I would say, the good side of social
I
media.
was gonna say that doesn't take away his fame at all. Sorry.
Yeah. He's like, let me just.
I meant more
I'm
like
gonna walk-
responding
I'm
to
gonna walk
trolls
that
and
back.
all that stuff.
Well,
yeah.
no, but listen, it gets better. So he responds to her, and of course everybody's like, "Holy cow!" You know, like, "Holy crap!" Whatever. And he sees what she was doing, and he orders 200 shirts from her.
Wow.
Yeah. Now it took her; she had to shut down everything and just do that order. But he ordered 200 shirts for her to help donate for the cause. So, I guess in that respect, you're gonna see some good come out of that.
And when was this?
This was, I don't know, maybe I mean, we've been only in it now maybe a little over a year, a couple months, maybe 6 months ago, 7 months ago. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it was crazy. So it just
Shout out to John
you just-
Mayer.
right? You just never know. So it was kind of funny that you mentioned that, but yeah, and I think
Talented and a nice guy.
yeah. But listen, the social media, you're right. It almost diminishes it a bit because it almost humanizes them, and on top of that, you're going to get a lot of that back and forth, and a lot of people are going to say what they think. You know, I feel bad for some of these athletes. You know, the kicker misses a kick, and it's death threats, and it's just ridiculous because you know people the way they are. It's just
Like if you want to send a death threat to an athlete back in the day, you gotta write a letter, you gotta send it out. You know what I'm saying?
or you had to go to the stadium and yell.
Right.
Yeah, but
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Now that's the thing. Everybody's accessible. You can literally shotgun stuff to the president. You'll get arrested in 5 minutes, but you can say whatever you want to him.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll probably respond anyway. He's a nut job.
But like you said, there's pros and cons. It's like again, I work a lot with juveniles, and I always tell them, use social media to benefit yourself.
And it's a good. It can be a good
Use
tool.
social media to benefit. You know the benefit that you can. We've talked about, and you know, Jacob's last travel team. He made that travel team based on a highlight video of game action. Because anybody can go to the park, you know this, and you know, Daddy's throwing BP or anybody, and
You're hitting bombs.
and hitting bombs and hitting, you know, brown balls that are, you know, right at you or whatever. But in-game clips that I had, you know, recording his at-bats or whatnot, the games, made a highlight video. We kept getting rained out for the tryout. So I sent the coach this and I go, look, man, you know, here it is. If you need to see more, offered him a spot.
Yeah.
Just like that. I tell these young people, you know, whatever it is, again, it doesn't have to be athletics. If you play a sport, if you play an instrument,
Yeah.
if you want to be an actor, if you want to show yourself on these platforms, putting in work, man. Just putting in work. So the day of tomorrow, you have an interview, you go out for this job, you go for this college, you want this coach to take a look at you, and they go into your social media, what are they going to see?
Oh,
Are they gonna see you
that's the first
out
thing
with the
you check.
boys on Friday night,
Yep.
smoking weed and acting stupid,
And that's the first thing you check.
and middle fingers and all this nonsense? Or are they gonna see you on a Saturday morning with no one's around, running and lifting
Yep.
and putting in work or creating? If you wanna be, it's only if you wanna be in the music.
Yeah.
You're making beats, you're doing whatever, something. I had I won't mention his name, but so when I was getting hired, I had a buddy who was in the field. He said, hey, delete, at the time I had Facebook, delete your Facebook, bro. Why? Well, you know they're gonna check you're in the hiring process. And I go, oh my God, I hope they do. What are they gonna see? I love baseball and I'm a pretty awesome dad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I know. And it is true.
Because I would not put anything negative. I tell these kids, don't put anything negative. Don't put you have a headache. Nobody cares. Don't put the girl that broke up with you and you're sending her F-bombs all over the place. It makes you look weak and stupid. Put yourself in a positive light, putting in work. Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
So when anybody that, you know, you're looking to impress sees these things, what are they gonna see?
Oh yeah, because you know what they're gonna do, and this happens with actors.
And not only would it not mess you up, it will help you. It will help you.
Well, yeah, because like I said, they will, the general public, if you're anyone that's in the spotlight, they will dig up stuff from like 2020, like basically when Twitter first started, like 08, they'll go back as far as they can, dig into
Which is
anything.
another thing that I tell them. How many athletes do you know, how many celebrities do you know that they went, did their research, found something he said in
Wait, like
2010,
10 years ago, yeah.
and now it's costing them endorsements, this company drops them,
Yep.
it's this dumb.
And it was for them, free speech, their own beliefs, and it's still.
I'm all for free speech, man, but I'm also all for you gotta watch what you say.
Well, of course you do. We know that.
We are both of us very outspoken, but
Yeah, you still got it.
I'm not gonna hear something from a supervisor or someone say something and be like, what? What the F? No, nah, bro. No. I gotta make my living. You know what I'm saying?
No,
But
I get it, and that's the thing. It's and they remember we have it in roll calls all the time. They talk to young officers. They send out
and how many
emails.
times do you still say, I'm not even on social media and I hear about it, bro.
I know.
All the
I
time.
know. I hear about it too.
I've
I'm
had
not
people
getting
show me, yo, D, look at this, bro.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm
and
like,
it's
what are you
easy.
doing?
Yeah, you're like.
What are you, like, really? Like, you're
kidding
supposed
me?
to be smart. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm all for put stuff that makes you look great, man. Don't lie. But if you don't even have kids, but you're a good uncle, man, put yourself out there with your nieces and your nephews or whatever.
Yeah.
Put something that when people are gonna look at it, because they will, you're gonna impress the hell out of somebody. Not you're gonna look at this guy what he's doing at work in uniform,
Yeah.
being a comedian.
I know.
That's what we're doing.
There's some big accounts too with officers. There's a couple of them that are like huge YouTube accounts where these guys are like, you know, they're funny people. Don't get me wrong, there's some funny stuff, but like I'm guessing the department's okay with it because they've been doing it for so long and everybody knows.
Find out.
Like I know we can't, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
No,
but-
and I've been shown also, ones where like fitness cops or whatever. Like I'm all for that, bro. I'm all for that.
Absolutely. And I've even gotten away. It's funny. I think.
Jiu-jitsu cops and all this, nonsense. I mean, like
Yeah.
anything that's positive, bro. Anything that shows you're a worker. I told with my son in the baseball, I said at some point soon, I will create an Instagram for you. You won't even have access to it by yourself, but I will because that is part now. And I don't know if you've seen it or not, but I'm already seeing it because of his baseball, endeavors. Where these kids, man, like I said about the thing where he made a travel team, they're getting recruited for college based on the coaches may reach out or whatnot, but they're reaching out by themselves to these coaches, and please see the attached video, and they're filming themselves
Yeah, and of course,
lifting,
this
working
wasn't
out, running the
available.
60-yard, that what I'm saying. Before you had to rely on your coaches doing all that kind of work for you. Now you take your phone, you don't have anybody to record it for you, put a tripod, okay, $9.99 on Amazon,
Not hard.
and show yourself doing that work. So use
Hey.
social media for positivity, people. Seriously.
Yeah.
It's not that hard, man.
Yeah.
You gotta ignore some stuff. Joe Rogan will tell you he doesn't even read comments.
Well,
Good for you, Joe.
honestly, it's kind of pointless because you're just gonna
Well, there's
most of
there's
it's
so many.
and it's just gonna be hate. Most of it.
That's what I'm saying.
Screw you, f you, go die. You
That's
suck.
what I'm saying. What's the point of
It's
that?
the same crap. Exactly.
Hopefully
Excuse me. That's the trolls.
we go from 5 viewers to maybe 6, but we may have 4 that don't like it.
There you
You
go.
know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna address you.
Yeah. No.
Our moms will like this, I think. So
We've been trying to keep the curse to a minute.
hey, listen, here and there, it's okay, man. Like I said, I think we as long as we don't say nothing to get us in trouble because our careers are very important to us, we'll be fine. But I know you gotta head out.
Yeah. I want to stay,
But
but I can't.
it is what it is, man.
Duty calls.
We'll
Literally.
get together soon. Hey, always a pleasure, bro.
Wait. This was episode 2.
Episode 2.
There you go.
There you go.
Episode 2 in the books.
Yes, sir.
Wait. You should take that off. Because if you get up, you're gonna rip it right out of your thing. Not even know it.
I just wish that this was. You get what I'm saying?